The basics. Qi Gong. Qi means energy or life force, and Gong means work or cultivation. So Qi Gong is the active work of mindfully cultivating the life force that we all share. Qi Gong is a wonderful modality for cancer patients because it is gentle but effective. It's very accessible. It's very safe. It requires no special equipment. It can be done anywhere, anytime. It can be done seated, standing, or even lying down. We'll do seated and standing today, but as the class progresses in the future, we'll explore all those options. Now, there are clinical findings, research studies that support the fact that practicing Qigong improves the quality of life for cancer patients. But I'm not going to take up our time today explaining those to you. Rather, if you're science-minded and you'd like to see these findings, they'll be available through Sydney. I've created a selective bibliography. So, medical Qigong, healthy, balanced Qigong. I came to Qigong through my own healing journey. I'm not a cancer patient, but in 2011, after having taught wellness and fitness and mindfulness for over 3 decades, being certified as a mindfulness-based stress reduction teacher, having gone to school finally to get my master's degree in exercise science and behavioral health psychology, I came down with a very mysterious illness. I went from teaching fitness and hiking and doing yoga to barely being able to get off my sofa in a matter of months. And I developed a multiplicity of mysterious symptoms around physical pain. We could talk about that a long time, but we won't. And of course, we have a wonderful Western medical system here in Rochester, and I explored that to the fullest: oncology, rheumatology, neurology, and they had nothing to offer me. Finally, my primary care physician diagnosed me with myalgic encephalomyelitis, which used to be called chronic fatigue syndrome, but it was changed a few years ago to recognize the devastating impact that this illness has on the entire nervous system and the entire dysregulation of the body. And being able to get no help, I was in 2015, by 4 years of this, I was resigning myself to living a life of serious disability with the potential of an early death. And then I met Master Lisa B. O'Shea, who teaches Qigong. She runs the Rochester Center for Qigong. And I was so impressed with the depth and intensity of her knowledge, her clarity, and her caring that I began studying with her quite intensively, personally studying with her, going to classes with her, and practicing daily. And within 6 months, I began to see real changes in my symptoms. And by the first year, I found I could walk a mile again. And now here we are, 7 years later, and I am 60 to 75% recovered, depending on the day and circumstances, and certified to teach Qigong to you. And so I could not be teaching to you from a more sincere and passionate place about this remarkable practice. So what I find so important about Qigong is that it is holistic. It works with the body, mind, and spirit. And it expands our focus very gently but steadily. When we live with a chronic or a serious illness, we become quite understandably very focused on our symptoms. And the fear that we live with can be very contracting to us. So Qigong is a very skillful way in to expand our focus to include the innate vitality within us, to learn how to recognize it and even how to enhance it. This is not to say that there's any denial of very real suffering and very real symptoms, but the frame just grows larger. And it does this by working with the Qi, or the energy. So it's a mindful practice. It uses the body, mind, and breath. And it circulates Qi. We use this to circulate Qi throughout the entire energy system. And the Qi runs through pathways in the body that are called meridians. These meridians are similar to veins and arteries that circulate the blood through the body in their structure. Also, very similar to the waterways of the earth, where the rivers flow into the streams. Qi Gong, in fact, integrates us, reintegrates us with the natural world. And to talk about this just a little bit more, I want to give you a very brief piece of history. The first material artifact associated with Qi Gong is 7,000 years old. It dates back to the Neolithic or the Stone Age era. It's a shard of pottery that shows humans doing practices that very much resemble modern medical Qi Gong. Now, this is important because at that time of our evolution, humans were transforming from nomadic tribal hunter-gatherers to more local agricultural societies. We were domesticating animals and cultivating crops. So as you can imagine, this creates called a revolution because this created an entire change in, and a radical change in how human beings related to their environment. And as I said, Qi Gong helps to reintegrate us into the natural environment that we are in fact a part of. And this is reflected in the names of the exercises. Standing Bear looks at the moon. Lotus heart blooming. Tree sways in the wind, and so on and so forth. And in these modern times, when our lives and our attention are being more and more separated from the natural world that we come from, I think it is imperative for us to find effective ways to bring ourselves home. And I do believe that Qi Gong is one of the most powerful. We'll begin by sensing some Qi. And we'll stay in our chair for now. Before we begin, let me say that even in these gentle exercises we're doing to begin, please modify anything that doesn't feel right to you. Anything that makes your body uncomfortable, particularly when it comes to raising your shoulders or bending your lower back. The beautiful thing about Qi Gong is that Qi follows the mind. The mind directs the Qi. And so all of these things can be done under the direction of your mind with minimal physical movement, which also makes it wonderful for those of us who struggle with certain physical limitations. So we'll begin. To begin with, you can use the back of your seat to support you. We'll change that. Or if you're having a particularly down day and you want to stay supported by the back of your seat, that's absolutely fine. You can do everything from there. But for now, we're going to do a brief Qi sensing exercise, which is to bring our hands up. And we're going to begin by closing our eyes and feeling what there is to be felt between our hands. Maybe you don't feel anything. Maybe you feel some tingling. You're paying particular attention to the center of the palm. And now we're going to begin what I call the Taffy Pull, where we gently wave the hands closer together and further apart. And as you do this, sometimes you have more sensations. Sometimes you can feel a pull when your hands separate and a push when your hands come closer together. So that pull is magnetic and that push is electric. The pull is the magnetic force of our energy. The push is the electric force of our energy. The pull is the yin energy. The push is the yang energy. So that all of our life is a constant dynamic interplay between these two forces of yin and yang. And when you're ready, you can release your hands down. Good. So the next thing we're going to do is expand this feeling into a movement that is called the spinal wave. So a wave is the foundation of all life. It's the foundational movement of all life. All life is constantly pulsing. Your heart is constantly beating. Your blood is receding and rising. It's always pulsing. And we're going to bring that pulse and embody it now. So we'll start by moving to the edge of your chair. And I'm going to take my shoes off so I can feel my feet on the floor. And actually, I'm going to turn my chair so you can see me more easily. So first, simply drop into your breath, which is the most primitive, original form of a wave in your body. Each inhale and each exhale has a wave-like motion, just like the tides in the ocean. And now we're going to add the natural movements of the body. So you'll notice that naturally your body, when you inhale, the chest rises a little bit and the tailbone drops down. And when you exhale, the pelvis sits up. And then when you exhale, the tailbone drops forward slightly and the chest sinks, so that you're inhaling and the pelvis is erect, the chest is slightly lifted, and you're exhaling and it's a curve. So just do that a couple more times. Really feel that deep in your body until it just becomes a natural wave. And there you have the spinal wave. And if you're going to continue seated in the chair, then you can stay here, but I'm going to stand now. And Sydney's probably going to adjust so you can see me. Yep. Well done, Sid. And we're going to do the spinal wave as a part of our warm-up. Healthy Balanced Qi Gong has 5 parts. It has a warm-up, has a chest set, an abdominal set, a kidney set, and a closing. And we're going to do brief pieces of all those today. So now we're in the warm-up, and let's talk about how we stand with Qi Gong. First of all, during this session, I'm going to invite you just to breathe normally and naturally. I'll give some cues for inhaling and exhaling. It's up to you whether you inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose, or exhale through your mouth. As classes proceed, we will get to a place where we are refining our breathing and learning formal Qigong breathing practices. But for today, please just relax and flow with it. So we begin in the empty or the ready posture. Really feel your feet underneath your knees and your knees unlocked. And feel your tailbone drop down to the ground, and then create a little bit of space under your armpits and a little bit of space between your fingers. And then feel your chest gently, just infinitesimally lift a little bit. Feel the back of the neck lengthen just a little bit, and let the chin tiny tuck in. Now I want you to notice that your body is moving. There is a natural, small, wave-like movement that happens in the body as the Qi moves. Qigong moves us from rigidity to fluidity. So feel that natural, gentle flow. And now we're going to gather a heavenly ball of Qi. We're going to bring our hands in front the same way they were before, and we're going to visualize a golden ball of light between our hands. And as we inhale, the knees straighten, the chest lifts. And as we exhale, the hands come together and the chest sinks. The pelvis straightens, the bones stack as we inhale. And as we exhale, the body goes into a gentle curve. And perhaps you feel this golden ball of energy between your hands, strengthening and glowing, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just feel the wave in your body. Inhaling up and exhaling down. So everything in life rises and falls, and we're rising and falling one last time and returning to Wuji posture. Good. So now we're going to move into the chest set. I have some prefatory remarks. A couple of things to know as we start the more formal practices. First of all, again, modify anything that feels uncomfortable for you. Secondly, another of Qi Gong's superpowers is that it has active practices that integrate the psychological and emotional life that we live with our physical life. There are specific emotions, thoughts associated with the different organ systems that we're going to be working with today. I'm going to be offering the classic forms of those thoughts and ideas, as well as the colors associated with the organ systems. If this feels distracting or overwhelming to you, or if you simply don't like it, let it go. Just focus on the movements and enjoying yourself flowing through the movements. I have found a great deal of healing power in this integration of the emotional with the physical. Warm-up is complete. Let's begin with the chest set. An important way of learning is watching. So I'm going to be doing each of these movements, particularly since I can't see you and since we're not able to communicate actively. I'm going to do each movement twice, and I'd like you to watch me carefully through both repetitions, taking it in, and then we'll do it together. We're going to do the Lotus Heart Opening. And I'd like you to begin by bringing your hands up toward your chest where your lungs are. Now, because Qi Gong is an energetic practice, your hands can stay above your body, or your hands can touch your body. I find touch to be extremely comforting. So I tend to work directly with my body, but it's not necessary. Please close your eyes and make contact with your lung energy. The color associated with the lungs is white. The image offered is usually a full moon shining in the daytime sky. So it's a very soft white. And the feelings associated with the lungs are gathering courage and releasing grief. So now I'm going to do Lotus Heart Opening for you. For the lungs. Hands release down. And as you curl forward, you exhale and you inhale up. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me better. And you exhale down. So the spinal wave is being incorporated. And down. Last time I'm doing it, you're gathering courage and releasing grief. Gathering courage and releasing grief. Please join me now. We'll do that 3 times. I'm going to stay to the side. Starting at Wuji posture. We exhale and gather courage, watching our shoulders to be sure we're comfortable, and exhale, releasing grief. Gathering courage, exhale, releasing grief. Inhale and exhale. And now we place our hands over our heart. The chest set works with the lungs and the heart. We close our eyes and we feel the heart center in the middle of the chest, not the anatomical heart, but the heart center that Qi Gong works with. The color is red. A classic image is a beautiful red sun rising or setting. The thoughts associated with the heart are open and connected, safe and protected. Returning to the empty posture, we'll do the same movement using the heart thoughts. Exhale and inhale, circling upward, open and connected. Exhale, safe and protected. Open and connected. Safe and protected. Open and connected. Safe and protected. That is part of the chest set. We're opening. As I said, the next part of our healthy balanced Qi Gong routine is the abdominal set. Now, the abdominal set works mainly with the liver on the right hand side of the body and the spleen on the left. Now, obviously, for all of these systems, they're quite complicated. And particularly for this introduction, I'm really simplifying things. The most important thing is keep your mind in your body and remain open to feeling the movement of Qi in the body in whatever way works for you. So we'll begin our abdominal set by bringing our left hand above or on our liver on the right side of the body. And we'll place our right hand over our left elbow. So this is a liver hug. It's very reassuring to the liver. So we're going to close our eyes, and the color associated with the liver is green. So if you're a visual person and you like to, you can visualize bright, fresh, spring green filling your liver. Swirling around within the liver, renewing it. And the emotions and thoughts associated with the liver are gathering kindness, releasing anger. Gathering kindness and releasing anger. And now we're going to switch to the spleen before we do the movement. Reverse your hands, right hand on the spleen on the left, left hand over the elbow. And let me hasten to add, nothing bad will happen if you do it wrong. It's very safe. So if you find yourself confused or flustered, just let that go. And let's close our eyes and drop inward to the spleen. The color associated with the spleen is a buttery golden yellow. And the thoughts associated with the spleen are gathering stability and releasing worry. Gathering stability and releasing worry. And then releasing our arms. Pardon me while I use my tissue. The movement that we're going to do for both the liver and the spleen, I selected in honor of the rising energy of the spring, which deeply impacts the liver, more than the spleen, but both to a certain extent. And it's called Tree Turns in the Wind. So think about your favorite tree. Feel how Your body, particularly your nervous system, mimics a tree with its strong trunk and the spinal cord and its branching nerves reaching out to feed every cell in your earth body. And we'll begin with our hands curved beneath our lower dantian. And then we will draw our hands up. And again, I'm going to turn. I'm sorry, you should be watching me. I didn't say that. And then we will exhale out to one side, to the right side. And back to the center. And again, on the inhale, we will draw the energy up, the top of the head, soften the knees, turn to the left, and exhale. Again, keeping the knees and hips stable, turning from the waist. We pull the energy up to the top of the head, gentle twist to the right, and open, just like a tree releasing its leaves. The center. And then we turn to the left. No, we don't. We gather it to the top. We turn to the left, soften the knees, and release to the side. Now, please join me and I'll add the thoughts for you as we go. Feet on the ground, rooted to the earth, stable in your trunk. Hands curve under the belly. We inhale, gathering kindness, turn to the right, exhale, releasing anger. Turn front, inhale, gathering stability, turn left, exhale, releasing worry. 2 more times, inhale, gathering kindness, exhale, releasing anger. Inhale, gathering stability, exhale, releasing worry. Last time, inhale, gathering kindness, exhale, releasing anger. Inhale, gathering stability, exhale, releasing worry. Return to Wuji posture. Breathe into your liver and your spleen. Breathe into your heart and your lungs. And release. This is a time for questions about this or anything else. Before we move on to the kidney set. Okay. So, kidneys. The kidneys are particularly interesting in Qi Gong. The kidneys store a lot of energy that you inherit. I apologize, I did leave one thing out of this presentation that is important, and that is the lower dantian. The lower dantian is a biobattery where your personal energy is stored. It's 1.5 inches below your navel, and it's in the center of the belly. It's usually visualized as a bed of coals, gently burning. That's your personal energy storehouse. Your kidneys store your more finite energy. It is not easy, but certainly possible to build the qi in the lower dantian. Building what's called the jing, which is a different kind of energy in the kidneys, is much harder. But by the same token, the kidney energy is quite pronounced. So as I said, you can work with your hands on the body, or you can work with your hands away from the body when you're directing energy. Or, and this is the true beauty part, you can just direct the energy with your mind. And one side note is that for me, when I'm working on directing my attention into my body, I just imagine it's like a flashlight. It's like a spotlight that I can direct toward my heart, my lungs, my kidneys, whatever. But this next exercise is called rising water, and it is wonderful for the kidneys, and it is the one that most people find easiest to feel, and I believe that's because of the radiant power of the Jing that is stored in the kidneys. So again, I'm going to turn a bit to show you this. And this is one that involves bending over, so please be exquisitely respectful of your lower back. Don't bend. You don't have to bend any further. You just have to visualize in your mind what's happening in your body. So for the kidneys, let's begin with our hands in front of the body, but at about the level of the kidneys. Knees are soft. Relax your tailbone. Relax your shoulders. Feel a little space in the armpits, a little space in the fingers. Tuck the chin gently, lengthen the neck a little bit. Tiny, tiny adjustments, nothing big. And then close your eyes and feel the energy of the kidneys with your hands. Feel free to bring your hands closer or further away. Just feel for the right kidney and the left kidney. Being aware that the color associated with the kidneys is a dark blue or black. And the thoughts associated with the kidneys are gathering calm, releasing fear. So please open your eyes and watch me all the way through as I show you rising water, because water is the element associated with the kidneys. So you're going to exhale, soften your knees, and scoop forward into the earth to gather the water of the earth, guide it up the inside of your legs towards your kidneys. On the inhale, exhale, relax, radiate the energy into your kidneys. Feel the water cleansing the kidneys. And the second half is bringing your hands either to your back or keeping them in the front. You're going to release fear down into the earth. If you're going to do it down the back of the body, be sure and release it down the back of the body and see fear going into the earth, and then come back up to standing. I'll repeat it now before we do it together. Beginning, sensing the kidneys, feeling the blue energy, feeling the calmness, feeling the fear. As you exhale down to the earth, inhale, gathering calmness from the earth up into the kidneys. Exhale, soften the knees, open the palms, nourish the kidneys, gather calmness, and exhale and release fear. I'd like you to join me now. We'll do it 3 times. And then when we're through with that, we will put them all together and do a closing. Soften the knees. Hands are feeling the calm blueness of the kidneys. Feel the rise and fall of the breath. Exhale, scoop down into the earth and inhale, pulling the energy up the inside of the legs into the kidneys and the back of the body. Exhale, feeling the calmness gather in the kidneys. Another breath in, and exhale, releasing fear, seeing it go down into the earth, any fear that you don't need, and then rolling back up, bone by bone. Exhale, Inhale calmness into the kidneys. The bones stack up. Chest sinks slightly. There's a gentle curve. Gathering calmness in the kidneys. Feeling the cleansing blue light. And then exhaling fear into the, and rolling. Last time. Exhale, scooping the energy of the earth up the inside of the legs, washing the kidneys, gathering calmness and equanimity. Breathing into the kidneys, feeling them puff out a little bit in the back if you can. And then exhale, releasing the fear into the earth. And rolling back up. And so we've completed the chest, abdomen, and kidney set. Any questions before we put them all together? Let's shake off a little bit. Gentle shaking. Shaking is a very formal Qi Gong practice. It's not one I use a lot of because it can help you release something you don't need, but it also can overstimulate the nervous system if you have a very delicate nervous system, and I do. So I don't shake a lot, but a gentle shake can help you make a nice transition. So just to review, we're going to do the Lotus heart opening for the lungs and the heart. And then we're going to do the liver hug and the spleen hug and the tree twisting in the wind, turning in the wind. And then we're going to do rising light. And then we'll do a closing. So take a moment to reset. We're all warmed up, so we don't have to repeat the warm up. Let your breath drop down into your belly, feeding your dantian. Feel those coals burning. Something that helps me is thinking about my nostril, my navel as a third nostril, so that when I inhale, the air goes in through the nostril, not just my nose, and feeds the lower dantian, and the coals burn a little warm. And we'll begin with the Lotus heart opening. So exhale. Inhale as the hands cross in front of the body, gathering courage. Exhale, releasing grief. Inhale, gathering courage. Exhale, releasing grief. Inhale, courage. Exhale, grief, moving on to the heart open and connected, safe and protected. Open and connected, safe and protected. Open and connected, safe and protected. Bringing the left hand over to the liver, right hand on the elbow. Feeling the vital kindness that lives in the energy field of the liver. Preparing to release any unnecessary anger, because sometimes we need to be mad, from the liver. Fresh green spring energy swirling as we switch right hand on the spleen on the left side of the body, left hand on the right elbow, feeling the golden sun of the spleen. Preparing to gather stability and release excess worry. Releasing your hands down, taking a moment just to stay in touch with those organs. As you inhale, draw the energy up to the top of the head, gathering kindness. Exhale to the right, releasing anger. gathering stability. The left, releasing worry. Gathering kindness, releasing anger. Gathering stability, releasing worry. Last time, gathering kindness, releasing anger. Releasing worry. And back to the front, to the Wuji posture. We prepare for rising water. Begin by feeling the energy of the kidneys. Feeling the blue or black, calm energy of the kidneys, the right kidney and the left kidney. As we exhale forward, mindful of our spine, and we inhale, pulling the blue energy up the inside of the leg, up into the kidneys. Exhale and hold the energy there, nurturing the calmness and the equanimity. Breathing into the kidneys, feeling them puff a little bit. And when you're ready, pulling out the fear and releasing it into the earth. Coming back to Wuji. Preparing the kidneys again. We exhale forward. Gathering even more calm. Exhale, breathe into the kidneys. Feel the kidney energy growing. Pulling out any fear and sending it back into the earth. Rolling up to Wuji. And last time, feeling the kidney. As we exhale, gather the energy from the earth to cleanse the kidneys, to calm the spirit, to bring equanimity, pulling the fear out of the kidneys and see it sinking deep into the earth, all the way back up. Back to Wuji posture as we prepare to close. So you're going to do a rainbow meditation. If you have any shoulder issues, your palms can be up like so. If you don't, please bring your hands up above your head with your shoulders relaxed. And please visualize all of the colors of the rainbow, all of the colors of the sunset. Just a swirl of beautiful northern lights above your head. Visualize an opening at the top of the crown of your head. Now close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, turn your palms down and draw down that rainbow of colors into your entire nervous system and your entire energy field, pushing any personal shadow that does not serve you into the earth, and repeat. Rolling up, bringing your arms up, turning your palms up. I'm going to do it in the front this time. Feeling the top of your head. Feeling all the bright lights swirling above your head. Feel the crown opening. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, turn your palms down and spread those rainbow colors throughout your entire energy field. Push anything that doesn't belong to you into the earth. And repeat, coming all the way up, stacking the bones on the spinal wave. Breathing, relaxing the shoulders, pulling in the allochromatic, multicolored lights of the heavens. We're gathering heavenly Qi, releasing, washing personal Qi as we exhale. Bend forward slightly, respectfully, and roll up into Wuji posture. Now we're going to do a Yin Massage. Please bring your hands together in prayer pose. Knuckles against the sternum, or as I said, if you want to be away from the body, that's absolutely fine. This is a meridian wash for the entire body. Left arm extends with your right hand into your armpit. You sweep down the inside of the left arm and up the outside of the left arm and across the chest. The left hand comes in as the right hand extends. Same thing, wash down and wash up the outside to the throat, both hands. Now, away from the face, up and around to the back of the neck, mindful of the shoulders, press into the base of the skull. This is the limbic system. This is where you can send yourself a great feeling of safety and support through your hands. This can activate your vagal nerve to activate your parasympathetic nervous system and calm you down. Now around to the front, to the throat, pet your throat like a kitty cat, working on the glands here, and then turn the back of the hands together and sweep down, cooling the heart, and then reassuring the liver and spleen around to the kidneys, watching your shoulders. If you feel like rubbing your kidneys, do that. Exhale. Now I'm going to go all the way, but you watch how far down you go, outside of the legs. If you can, to your feet and around the top of the feet, up the inside of the legs. But again, you can direct the energy in your mind. And the next part's very important. Up the right side of your belly, across under your navel, down the left side, across the pubic bone, and repeat. Up the right side. This is called stirring the pot. We're really stirring the dantian, making it strong and healthy and active so that we can lead a long and happy life. Smaller and smaller. And repeat. Hands in the prayer pose. Left arm extends. Right hand to the armpit, sweeping down the inside of that arm. We're following the yin meridians. That's why it's called a yin massage. Up the backside. Across as the other hand comes in, right hand extends, armpit, out. These are the meridians of the heart and lungs. This can be very soothing when you're feeling anxious. In front of the face, around the head, to the back of the head, pause for a moment to reassure the limbic system that you are safe and secure in this moment. And then come around and pet the throat. And turn the backs of the hands together to cool the heart. Caress the liver and the spleen and the kidneys. And down. No further than you're comfortable. And up. And again, up on the right side, across under the navel, down on the left, across the pubic bone, up on the right side, down on the left, circle, smaller, and hold. Cup your hands underneath your lower dantian as we gather our qi. We've generated some wonderful qi during this session. You don't want to leave it hanging out there. You want the qi to be gathered and condensed for your own longevity. So, right hand first sweeps out above the head. Palm is flat as it comes down the midline of the body. Left arm sweeps out above the head, gathering your energy, centering it. This is a wonderful practice when you feel discombobulated. Right hand again, gathering. Left hand again, gathering. And now we'll use both arms, really feeling the energy in the palms, sending it where you need it, and then condensing it in the dantian. Hands are crossed. You're crossing your hands so that the palms are actually crossed. And bring the feet as close together as you're comfortable. It just depends on what sense of balance you have. As we do our final activity, bamboo swaying in the breeze. Just let your body move and notice the wisdom of your body and how it knows just when to right itself, just when the weight shifts, what needs to happen. This dynamic balance is a beautiful, beautiful expression of the natural capacity for balance, even in turbulent times. The body knows what to do. And gradually become a little more still. Release your hands, your left foot steps out, back to Ujjayi posture. Taking a moment of appreciation for inheriting these wonderful healing practices and having the opportunity for such incredible professional care and self-care. And that's healthy, balanced Qi Gong.